Hey there fellow Miata enthusiasts, today I'm going to be replacing my Miata's oil pressure sender. From 1990 to 1994, Mazda had fitted Miatas with an actual working oil pressure gauge, where the gauge actually went from 0 to 90 or above. Starting in 1995 though, Mazda decided to change it to a boring old oil pressure gauge that basically did nothing. It went from off to on. Basically, if you were above 7 psi, you were in the good zone. So today I'm going to be fitting it with one that actually works and the gauge actually moves from left to right, or 0 to, this one works till 80. Let's get started, but first here are the tools you're going to need. The oil pressure sender kit, Phillips head screwdriver, pair of channel locks, 1/2 inch open wrench, thread locker, electrical tape, a couple tools that you're going to need to pry off the needle of your oil pressure gauge, and of course, a beer. Also, during the process, I learned that you're going to need a pair of wire strippers and a 24mm deep socket wrench. Before doing any work to your car, remember to disconnect your battery. After that, first thing we're going to want to do is jack our car up and remove the front right wheel. Now that we've got the wheel off, we can get to the actual work. Come with me. What you're going to want to do is go into the wheel well, through this hole, to the right, up just above the oil filter, and you'll see the old oil pressure sender. You're going to want to disconnect this wire. So life is about trial and error. These channel locks were trialed and errored. So I ran to the store and got myself a 24mm deep socket and a smoothie. I also apologize for the lack of footage that I'm getting in there. I can't fit my hands, a deep socket wrench, and a camera in there all at once. I'm trying to show you as much as I can. Please forgive me. All right. So here is the old oil pressure sender. Nothing in comparison to the new one. Here's the new one. Old oil pressure sender, new oil pressure sender. You can definitely see the difference. This one's actually gonna, do stuff. Okay, so part of the reason why I'm making this video is because I didn't see any other very good videos about this topic, and the manufacturer's instructions weren't very clear. Upon initially overviewing the instructions, I thought that the wire would be plug and play from the old oil pressure sender to the new one. I was wrong. So what I did was take this bit of wire that you'll connect to the oil pressure sender later, went in through the engine bay with the old one, stripped the old wire, threaded it through the tiny hole, and just wrapped it in electrical tape. Not the best splicing job I've ever done, but it's what I had to do in a pinch since I wasn't really prepared and I didn't have the tools necessary. Then I went back below and connected it back to the oil pressure sender. Again, I apologize for the lack of footage. I just cannot fit my hands, a tool, and the camera in this very small space, and when you do this yourself, you'll be able to understand. Now that the splicing is over, thank God, we move on to installing our new oil pressure sender. Now, the threadings are a little bit different, so they give you this gold adapter. You're going to put a little bit of Loctite on this thread right here, just on the tip. It doesn't screw on all the way. Now this is what the new oil pressure sender looks like once it's installed. Congratulations, you're halfway done. Go ahead and crack yourself open another beer. Now at this point you can go ahead and put your wheel back on, lower your vehicle, and reconnect your battery and head inside of your vehicle. Now what we're going to do is take apart our instrument panel. There are 3 screws down here and a screw on either side of this guy, and you're going to take everything out. Next, we're going to remove the 4 Phillips screws right here and take the instrument panel out. Once you've got the 4 screws out, go ahead and release all 4 harnesses from behind. That'll make this next step much easier. Take the instrument panel out, and there are 7 clips all around the perimeter, and you're going to push all of them in and pop the clear plastic cover off. Once you've got that plastic cover off, just set it off to the side as the oil pressure sensor is still connected to it. We're going to very carefully pry this needle off. Once you've got it good and pried, slowly pull it off. You want it still in the resting position when you pull it off. Put that somewhere safe. Now that we have all the harnesses in place, we're going to turn the car on and bring it to idle. That way we can find the proper place to put the needle back. Once you have your vehicle up to temp, you're going to go ahead and take your needle and place it on the bottom hash. That should be where idle should be and normal operating temperature is. And you're going to very lightly place it in. You don't want to push it all the way in, we're testing it right now. Okay, place it on the bottom hash. Now what is recommended is bring it up to 4,000 and see how the oil pressure changes. Now it's not perfect, but it's nice to see that the oil pressure gauge is moving with the vehicle's RPMs. Now is a good time to go ahead and put everything back together. When you're putting the clips of the plastic clear cover back on, make sure they're all in place before you go ahead and slap it all where they clip in. Then put all the screws back together and put your car puzzle pretty much back together. So taking it for a little test drive so you can kind of see what it looks like here. Here it is at idle. I'm at a stop and I'm just going to take it up to 4,500 and shift. Now going to come to a complete stop so you can see it go back down. Congratulations! You've just finished installing your brand new oil pressure sender kit. Go ahead and crack open your last beer of the evening. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big fat thumbs up. And if you want to see more Miata related mechanical installations or replacements, go ahead and subscribe because there will be more. Thanks for watching.